Alright, we need to talk because Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, just told the people of the United States to unite with him for the peace of the Americas. Yes, the same man Washington calls a dictator is now calling for friendship bracelets. And he said all this in the middle of a giant rally, surrounded by drums, megaphones, and a crowd that looked like a political Coachella. The story is everything: warships, drug raids, invasion fears, militias, satellites, and Maduro giving CNN an interview like he's applying for a TED Talk. So let's jump in. Picture this: a massive youth rally in Caracas, flags waving, loudspeakers blasting, Maduro sweating like he's been stuck inside a sauna made of socialism. A reporter asked what he wants to say to Americans. Maduro goes full inspiration quote mode. Unite for the peace of the Americas. No more endless wars. No more Libya. No more Afghanistan. And then, when asked if he has a message for Donald Trump, Maduro switches to English like a Duolingo just handed him a diploma. Yes, peace. Yes, peace. That's it. 2 words, like a WhatsApp message from someone who forgot their charger. But the real question is, why is Maduro suddenly talking about peace? Because the US just parked a massive naval force right next to Venezuela. Let's break this down. The US currently has 15,000 personnel, over a dozen warships, and the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, deployed in the Caribbean. This is the biggest American military presence in the region since 1989, when the US invaded Panama. This is not casual. This is not "we are just hanging out." This is the geopolitical version of your neighbor parking a tank in your driveway and saying, "Don't worry, it's just for decoration." Officially, Washington says this whole setup is to stop drug trafficking vessels coming from Venezuela. Meanwhile, Venezuela hears, "Oh, regime change with boats now? Cool." The US military says it has already carried out 20 strikes on alleged drug smuggling vessels in the Caribbean and Pacific, killing 80 people. That's not small. That's not symbolic. We are very serious and also very busy. CNN reports that the US is considering plans to strike cocaine production sites inside Venezuela. But, and this is important, the administration told Congress it does not have a legal justification for doing that yet. So right now the US is basically telling Venezuela, "We are not going to hit you unless we figure out how to make it legal." That never sounds comforting. Okay, Venezuela's counter-move. Maduro did what Maduro always does. He mobilized everyone. Venezuela's official military size 120,000 troops, but Maduro claims his civilian militia has grown to, wait for it, 8 million reservists. 8 million. That is not a militia. That is the population of Switzerland. Experts are like, yeah, that's adorable, but no. But Venezuela isn't just talking. They have begun physical preparations. A satellite image from November 10 shows anti-vehicle hedgehogs, those big metal X-shaped roadblocks installed on the Caracas-La Guaira highway. That's the main road from the coast to the capital. You only put those things out when you think somebody with tanks might show up, which is not subtle. Now let's be neutral here. Why would Maduro suddenly talk directly to Americans? 3 reasons. 1. Public opinion. If Americans oppose military escalation, the White House loses political space. 2. Optics. Calling for peace makes Venezuela look like the calm one, even while preparing defenses. 3. Fear of escalation. Because when the US parks an aircraft carrier near your coastline, you start journaling your feelings real quick. Maduro's message, "No more Libya, no more Afghanistan," is not random. It's a direct reference to US military interventions that turn into long, chaotic conflicts. It's trying to frame the current situation as a decision between diplomacy and disaster. From Washington's perspective, the narrative is simple: drugs, crime, political pressure, strong reaction. It's a clean domestic message. It polls well, it sounds tough, but attacking inside Venezuela, that's a legal and military minefield. Congress wants justification. International law wants justification. Even the Pentagon wants justification. So far now, the US is saying, "We are here, we are powerful, we are watching, but we are not striking yet." This is the most dangerous part. Right now we have a heavily armed US fleet, a mobilized Venezuelan military, clashing political narratives, high tensions, zero trust. This is exactly how accidental conflicts start. One boat crosses a boundary, one radar locks in, one commander misreads an order, and suddenly the Caribbean becomes the newest hotspots on Earth. Both sides know that, which is why Maduro's sudden peace message is not just PR. It's an attempt to control the narrative before anything explodes. This situation is not just about the US and Venezuela. If a conflict starts, refugee flows skyrocket, oil markets react, Latin American politics destabilize. The Caribbean becomes a militarized zone. Global powers like Russia, China, and Iran get involved. And suddenly, the entire Western Hemisphere is on fire. This is why the phrase peace of the Americas matters. It sounds dramatic because it is. So, the US has the biggest military deployment in the region in 35 years. Venezuela is preparing for the worst. The US is considering strikes but doesn't have legal grounds. Maduro is trying to win the narrative, and the region is holding its breath. This is one of those moments where the world is quiet right before it gets loud. That's it. I'm Mazhar. That was a breakdown. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, talk to me in the comments, and do subscribe to the channel for more such videos. Thank you for watching.